up or you get punched up, punched out, you know what I'm saying? It's what it is. I don't take the name of gangsters, I've been one. I done pushed weight from Boston.
Guys, what is up? Welcome to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. I got a fragrance review for you guys today. We're going to take a look at a fragrance called Homme by Gucci. And this is, of course, the 2003 version, not the 1976 version. Now, I've done only one review on Gucci, and the fragrance I reviewed is Homme 2. Or 2, the younger brother of this guy. They don't smell related, but hey, we can say that they are. I actually only own one other fragrance from this house, and that is Gucci by Gucci, which came out in 2008. I will definitely review that one down the road. And as far as what else I'd like to own from Gucci, hey, if I could get Rush Man and Envy Man for the right price, I would love to have both of those in my collection. I kind of look at those as collector's items. So I would love to have those. I'd love to have Intense Oud, which I think is really good. I need to smell Gucci Guilty Oud, which I have not, and I would love to get Gucci Guilty Absolute, which I really like. I think it's a wonderful woody sort of Castoreum fragrance. Really, really good. And by the way, a total departure from the original Gucci Guilty, which I did not think was a good fragrance. Now, if you want the backstory on this revered Italian designer, I implore you to check out the first video that I did that was on Gucci Homme 2. This guy, 2003 release, perfumer, Michael Amarak. You probably know him from Bentley Absolute for Men, which shares a lot of similarities with this. You might know him from Fire Island, from Bond Number 9, or Coney Island, or Fahrenheit, my favorite fragrance of all time. Zeno Davidoff, Escada Magnetism for Men. His resume is thorough. And the notes on this one, there's a lot, are going to be Artemisia, ginger, papyrus, lavender, basil, petitgrain, bergamot, lemon, carnation, patchouli, pink pepper, sandalwood, orris root, jasmine, cedar, geranium, labdanum, leather, tonka, amber, musk, oak moss, vanilla, incense, vetiver, and sage. Now, really interesting sort of story as to how I got my bottle of this. This is definitely a fragrance I was looking for, and I think I found it at one place. I think I found a 50 ml bottle for $100 when I first started reviewing, and I passed on it. It was at a mall kiosk, and always just sort of looking for it, and there was this guy that worked for me, a couple of guys that worked for me. I got them really into fragrance. They were sort of talking about what they had. He said, one of the guys was like, oh, I have this Gucci scent. I don't know which one it is. It's on a really heavy square bottle, but I don't like it. And I said, can you bring it in? Because if you bring it in and it's what I think it is, and he's like, I don't remember what it is, but I was like, if you bring it in and it is what I think it is, I'll definitely pay you. I'll take a look how much is there. I was like, I'll definitely at least give you $50. He didn't want it. He was like, cool. So he brought it in. It was this. We'll do the presentation now. You can see this guy's really beat up. And the bottle, I've probably worn this 3 or 4 times. So I want to say it was half full, about, right? Like maybe a little bit more than half full. Not horrible condition, but it certainly not BNIB. Good sprayer, everything. So bottom line is, this is a 100 ml bottle. I want to say I have about 30 ml left, and I paid $35 for this bottle. So it's something I don't wear often. Again, I really like having it in the collection. So I definitely got a good deal. Now, because this one is discontinued, if you want this one, I've looked online, you're gonna pay between $200 to $400 for a bottle of this, and I'll try to help you decide if it's worth it for you to do so, being that there are a lot of fragrances that smell a lot like this, okay? So there's your presentation. It does come in that really heavy bottle. A Gucci Homme 2 has the blue juice with the sort of tan cap. This one has the darker juice with the black cap. Both very heavy. All right, so how does this smell? Really good. With that said, we're gonna go through all the options of fragrances that smell like this, that are more affordable and easier to find for a better price, but this is the godfather of those, okay? To me, this is the first men's scent that uses the brilliant accord of almost a church-like waxy incense, with Atlas cedarwood, a rounded pink pepperberry, and some leather and amber. Now also, sitting at the base of this, there's a slightly smoky vanilla, there's some labdanum, and I get a touch of spicy ginger. This fragrance is warming. It's cozy, it's addictive. You want to keep smelling it. It's perfectly masculine, but also unisex. It's rich, it's balsamic, it's sexy, it's calming, it's exciting, and I think it's just great to wear. This kind of smells like being around pencil shavings, vanilla, and church incense while wearing a beat-up brown leather jacket. So good, and all of the sharp edges with some of the more aggressive notes are just perfectly rounded out. Now, this is not as beastly as you might think. Comes out of the bottle with some pop, but quickly becomes fairly tamed and soft. It projects decently, but we're not talking about some monstrous shit. I'd say it does what it's supposed to do, both in terms of projection and longevity, about 8 hours. It's an eau de toilette, and it gives you a nice sillage trail. This is certainly unisex juice, but it does great on a guy. Again, I think it would do really well on a woman as well. I could certainly see the right woman pulling this one off. This, I really think, is made for the fall and winter, and you'll probably do better in the fall than the winter when it's not super cold. You want it to be chilly, but not frigid when you're wearing this one. Ideally, for me, this is a great fall date night scent. Cozy, maybe a light, we get it. We get it. You're trying to get by. Cozy, maybe a light scarf, a peacoat, and a sweater or a button-down, jeans, maybe boots, sort of a smooth, rugged sort of scent. Comparisons, lots of them. Bentley for Men Absolute, also by Almanac, very close, $50 scent with gorgeous presentation, better presentation than this. You got Dirty English by Juicy Couture, that's like $35, but that was reform and lost some of its original likability. People do not like the reformulation as much as the original. I don't think I've smelled the original. I do have the reform. It's good, but it's not as good as this. D Squared Potion, also very close in that $30 range, but the best of all of these to me, and perhaps even better than this, is Comme des Garçons 2-Man, which is about $130. Came out a year after this, composed by Mark Buxton, really adds a dirty vetiver note, and I think a more complete incense accord. But if you're interested in this, try these fragrances, decide which one's for you, and get a bottle. If someone were trying to talk you into purchasing this one, I think they say this is the originator. It smells so good, and it is certainly a collector's piece in a collection. If someone were trying to get you to skip this one, I think they tell you that, hey, it's expensive. This is expensive. So many other options out there. This is gonna be hard for you to find for anything decent price-wise. And is this the best of the bunch? Maybe you like D Squared Potion better. It's a little bit more transparent, maybe a little sweeter. Maybe you're gonna like CDG2 better. Maybe you're gonna like Bentley Absolute better. So you gotta kind of try them all. Even at the confiscatory price of between $200 to $400, this is an 8.5 out of 10 for me. And if Gucci had not discontinued this gem, we gotta talk Gucci, because discontinuing Rush for Men and Envy for Men and this guy, what are you doing? But anyway, if Gucci hadn't discontinued this gem, this would probably be a 9 out of 10 or better if you could just grab this. This spawned a generation of scents trying to be like this scent. And minus the Buxton creation, the rest are really all clones. Good ones at that, but still clones. And that's fine, but that's the real reality of the situation. For me, this is everything I love about fragrance. I really think there's something fun about being on the hunt for a fragrance you really want, that's been elusive, and somehow you walk into it and you don't have to pay that ridiculous price. That's happened to me with so many fragrances, a vintage Equipage, Casual Friday, just a bunch of fragrances I've just found just being around and always looking when I think a store might have fragrances, or just asking friends, what do you have, what don't you wear? So I think that's fun. Again, that's something I think very fun about this game. But again, if you can't find this one, then hey, there are other options you can definitely check out. And leave a comment. Let me know which of those options you think's best. If you've tried this one, if you think this is the best of the bunch, leave a comment and let me know. All right, guys, that has been my review of Pour Homme by Gucci. I'll see you again real soon with more videos, obviously. My name is